How fMRI measures brain activity through blood flow. It's easy to assume that if we want to study the brain, we should measure electrical signals directly. Neurons fire, signals move, but fMRI doesn't actually measure electrical activity. It measures something indirect, blood flow. How does tracking blood tell us anything about thinking? When neurons become active, they don't just send signals. They use energy, mainly from glucose and oxygen delivered through the blood. When a specific brain area becomes active, it needs more oxygen. The body responds by increasing blood flow to that region. The brain is essentially signaling its own activity through changes in resource demand. This is a key insight. fMRI relies on the BOLT signal, which stands for blood oxygen level dependent signal. Oxygenated and deoxygenated blood behave differently in a magnetic field. That difference is what the scanner detects. So instead of measuring neurons directly, fMRI detects changes in oxygen levels in the blood. Step 1. When a group of neurons becomes active, it consumes more oxygen, creating a temporary imbalance. Step 2. To meet demand, nearby blood vessels expand, delivering more oxygen-rich blood. Supply often exceeds demand. Step 3. This shift in oxygen levels changes the blood's magnetic properties. The fMRI scanner detects these changes. Areas with more oxygenated blood produce a stronger signal interpreted as higher activity. Step 4. Raw signal data is processed into visual brain maps. These show active areas during specific tasks. It's not a direct image of neurons firing, but represents activity patterns based on blood flow. One thing easy to overlook is timing. Neural activity happens in milliseconds. Blood flow changes happen over seconds. This means fMRI does not capture instant activity. It captures a delayed response. How precise can a method be if it's not measuring the signal directly? fMRI provides high spatial resolution, showing where activity is happening with good detail. But its temporal resolution is lower. So it's strong in showing location, but less precise in showing exact timing. If someone performs a task in an fMRI scanner, like solving a problem, different brain areas show increased activity. You don't see the thoughts themselves, but you see which regions are involved. That's the part that feels almost surprising. Even though it's indirect, fMRI is still one of the most widely used tools in neuroscience. It allows researchers to study brain function without invasive procedures. It helps identify areas involved in memory, emotion, and decision-making. It's easy to think of brain activity as purely electrical. But fMRI shows that physical systems like blood flow are deeply connected to how the brain works. That connection is not obvious until you start looking at how the brain uses energy. fMRI doesn't give a complete picture, but it provides a useful perspective. It shows patterns of activity across regions. It helps researchers understand how different parts of the brain work together. It's not about one signal. It's about the system. fMRI measures brain activity by tracking changes in blood oxygen levels, not electrical signals directly. That indirect approach might seem limited at first, but it reveals patterns difficult to observe otherwise. Once you understand how closely brain activity is tied to energy use, it becomes easier to see why blood flow can tell us so much. Thanks for watching.